Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman. Joining us this week, Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
Michael Huber.
Barry Block.
And that's it. Just us. Me, Damiani, Huber, and Barry Block.
I wish.
It's lonely in here.
No, I don't know if I wish.
No,
Barry
you
was
don't,
here.
dude.
No, yeah.
A little uncomfortable.
Yeah, you don't want to know him.
It is just the three of us.
Can you
We're doing a
spoil
little
something for me?
We're doing an intimate podcast. No spoilers, by the way. That was not a
No
spoiler.
spoilers.
Okay.
You know,
None.
episode 1, Barry Block is not going to be a good guy.
Okay.
If you are a viewer, you may notice we have a green desk today.
Oh.
That's to celebrate.
Wow.
Yeah, that's to celebrate Jordy's Dino. If you've seen the sticker on my laptop, it matches perfectly. This is very intentional.
Gotcha.
It is not another Easy Allies problem. Let's play Glenny's Cauldron.
Speaking of Glenny.
This is where we have to buy some ingredients for Glenny, who is our witch friend. She is rich as well, from what I understand. Very wealthy.
Dang.
She is looking for ingredients for a Vile video game. She doesn't know a lot about video games, so she trusts us to pick up the ingredients. We go to the wizard stores and we spend 1 doubloon.
Okay.
That's all we can afford to buy one ingredient. So,
Let's hear it.
these are our patrons offering ingredients, by the way. Our first ingredient comes from Matthew Pauling. You have an extremely annoying small sidekick who will, in particular, randomly trip you over, giggle, and say, "Don't mind me." And despite having no likable characteristics, everyone in the game, your character included, loves this piece of trash. Suggested name? Sleazer.
Oh, I was going to say Lalafell.
Okay.
What is Lalafell?
The little short things in Final Fantasy XIV everyone hates.
Oh, well, imagine there's just one named
Yeah,
Sleazer.
that's plenty.
You have
That's plenty.
Okay, from Lost Rob, another ingredient. The lore of the world is that the main character can fast travel, but your companions cannot. When you fast travel, all your companions have to traverse the world manually, and their pathing mechanics only work so well. About 95% of the time, they can path back to you if you sleep at an inn for the night, or if you fast travel from the road, but only 50-50 if you travel from a dungeon. All other times, they get stuck somewhere.
No.
That one.
No.
That one's way worse.
When you
Yeah.
just try and guide someone like downstairs in a game, they'll
Yeah.
get caught on a corner. That is the worst.
And if you lose them, do you have to go find them then?
They
If
don't have to
get
go fast
stuck?
travel back to their spot.
Yeah.
Retrace their steps?
Can we have like a StarCraft thing where you can just pan the camera over and then click on them and tell them to go?
I mean, that's
Can we
what, yeah,
add
what
that
is
at
it?
least? So,
What is
like
it?
Yeah.
Pikmin does that.
Yeah.
Like Pikmin. No, you have to go by foot in Pikmin.
Yeah, then
Yeah, you know what? I think you have to find them by foot.
Okay.
and then you gotta
That
like
one is-
escort them as well.
Yes.
It's brutal.
That
That's
is
brutal.
truly brutal. Like even just like 95% is not good enough for pathing.
Yeah.
It's just not good enough.
And Sleazer, was it?
yeah.
There's always a chance that you end up liking Sleazer.
There's not, dude.
There is.
You're going to trip over Sleazer in crucial moments.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, Sleazer, you know?
No.
Or you trip over them and they save your life.
What? You're
Like
getting
you're
shot
about to
at-
walk. You thought you were gonna make a good decision. You're walking ahead. You trip over them. They
Yeah.
laugh. You're angry. But then you look ahead like, oh, that would have been a terrible mistake. That was.
I
that-
cannot believe you two are supporting Sleazer
Somebody
right now.
shoots an arrow at you and
Yeah.
Sleazer trips you.
I don't
and
want to hear
Yeah,
a
you're,
Sleazer defense.
you're about to rush into it like you think is unarmed enemy, and they really got like a +20 like legendary weapon.
Yeah.
You've got like a gray weapon. It's like, no, just saved your life right there. Thanks.
No, Sleazer's bad.
I already like Sleazer.
Stop this.
No, we just dislike Sleazer. That's it. We just dislike them. They can be useful though. You can dislike something and they be useful. This is
Okay.
totally possible.
Jones is going to be so mad, but it sounds like we're buying the mostly accurate, but sometimes not
What are you talking
fast
about?
travel.
He's a GoldenEye fan. He probably played his Odd Job all the time. He's used to going around and doing that. Come on.
I don't doubt it. Jones is not above doing odd
Well,
job.
this is a
Yeah.
sidekick, so
Yeah.
maybe he's angry at people doing it to him.
Lost Rob, thank you for your ingredient. Oh, by the way, next week is the final week of open submissions for Glenny's Cauldron. And then we're going to start taking like particular ingredients. Like,
Okay.
okay, we need a name for this or we need a particular type of this. But
Got it.
This was like, we're getting toward the end of the ingredients right now.
Oh.
It's exciting.
It is.
Jones isn't here to begin corrections music, so Huber, can you do it?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. We talked about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite's failures last week, but never brought up the roster, which I think is probably maybe number one.
Yeah.
Number one after graphics. It just looked bad.
There were no X-Men, right?
Yeah.
No X-Men. And
yeah.
it felt like very MCU motivated, the reason
Yeah.
why, and I think that's what really like set people off.
Got it.
Ceaseless Discharge does have a body. He is a human form covered in lava. He has a head, arms, and legs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did Brad write that one in? That correction?
Brad was here. Brad.
Whoa, Brad.
Yeah. Brad just said he's a big mound of lava and just left it at that.
Okay. He probably just didn't get into the particulars.
I don't know if Brad knew.
That's probably like whizzed past it so fast. He's just like,
Yeah.
didn't even notice.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't care.
Brad's talking about being
Doesn't
able to
care.
roll through the lava. Yep. So last week we did ask why Dead Rising 4 was disliked. We got a list. Hubert played it, so I'm going to run these by you, dude.
Yes.
Okay.
Reviewed it.
Frank West returned, but didn't look like him, sound like him, or even act like him.
Yeah, it was just a different kind of Frank West.
Okay. The game removed campaign co-op that 2 and 3 had.
Yep.
Okay. That's a big loss. Campaign co-op is great, right?
Yeah, Brad and I actually went through Dead Rising 2 co-op, and it's just a good time. You know, you're both running through the mall, going into stores,
Yeah.
grabbing weapons. It's so awesome.
They removed the insane, crazy boss characters.
Oh.
Yeah,
ouch.
the psychopaths and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I think there
Wow.
were some, though. That, I don't know, because I remember like a crazy Santa Claus. Am I getting that wrong?
No, because it was definitely Christmas themed, and I feel like I saw Crazy Santa in the trailers.
Yeah, there is a crazy Santa.
But maybe he's like an end boss or something. Maybe it's
Okay.
not treated the same way that the psychopaths were treated.
Got it.
They added a mech suit. That to me seems good.
The mech was cool, but there's something about having like this ultimate powered thing that makes everything else like not as.
You got to save it for the
fun.
end of the game.
Yeah.
That was how I always feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come at the expense of like cool like weapons you craft, like the crazy things you came up with.
You had to find like resources to use it and craft it, but it always kind of felt available.
Okay.
So,
Finally, Huber, the game just didn't feel like Dead Rising.
correct.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of like open worldy, which, you know, like sandbox, but Kyle, you always talk about like movies and stuff. You'd rather see a excellent 10 out of 10 movie or like a 3 out of 10.
Yes.
But when it's like a 5 or a 6, it's just so forgettable and boring.
Yeah.
And Dead Rising 4 to me was just boring.
Wow. Yeah. I saw more people talk about like the sense of humor was off, that they were like pushing like B-movie as opposed to like embracing B-movie in a
Yeah.
weird way. I don't know. If there's a thin line between homage and satire that's hard to balance.
Yeah, there was a co-op, but it wasn't for the campaign. It was like a separate mode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah.
Oh
And
gosh.
that crazy
yes,
Capcom
yes.
DLC was for 4, right? Mm-hmm. Cool. Destiny 2 does have a cool Twitch extension where if you're watching on Twitch and your favorite streamers playing Destiny 2, you can find out what weapons they have
Oh,
and
yeah.
then like what.
They have those
Yeah.
for a lot of games. Cool.
Warframe as well. I learned.
WoW
Warframe
has it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like they'll show you like your gear sets and stuff, so players can see what you're wearing.
Yeah, I love that. We were talking about Borderlands 3, and I was like, "Oh, cool, that's so innovative." And then comments are like, "Nah, dude.
Yeah.
You need to watch other streams."
You're behind.
Rage
Yeah.
2, I think, is doing something really fun where the audience can help you out. Or like send in more mutants or something.
Oh yeah, I think that's like a whole other thing with like it's interactive.
Yeah.
Damiani 14, no extension. What's going on?
There might be one, but I don't think anyone really uses it.
Got to check the roadmap. When's it
I
coming
mean,
up?
the thing is,
Roadmaps.
I think the difference is in 14, you can so quickly change between jobs, and there's like 15 of them right now. Whereas in these other games, you're just like one type. You don't. It's not as easy to change. Like you can change your loadout, but you don't change from. I don't think you as often change between so many different roles. Like in WoW, your character is just the one job, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
You don't, yeah. It's always been that
Yes.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you
like,
choose a rogue, you are a rogue.
So you have to log
Yes.
into a different character to be like a different thing. So I think 14.
You are making excuses during corrections time. You're saying
I'm just trying to give you an explanation.
14 could have had this.
I
but
mean,
they chose
I
not
think it
to.
does have. I think the reason no one why it hasn't
Gotcha.
been made popular
Gotcha.
is because no one really cares about it.
Friendly wager. How many roadmaps will be shown
That's
at
such a good idea.
E3?
Hey, save it, dude.
I'm sorry.
That is genius. How many roadmaps?
roadmaps?
The Easy Allies roadmap to E3's roadmap.
Because then there's like just a map, like like in a game, like Breath of the Wild or something. You bring up your map.
Wouldn't count it.
Is that okay?
Would not count that as a road map,
Okay,
dude. Because road maps are linear.
Okay.
And corrections music, please. Huber, if you could. Thank you. Jones would have been so mad about how long that went. We have some updates. Nintendo Direct's happening again this year. Normal time, Tuesday, June 11th, 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Excellent.
Again this year.
So we've had like some changes for the press conferences. Like when I always.
Oh, you mean for E3?
For E3,
I
yes.
thought you were. Sorry, my mind wasn't. Let me apologize to the listeners
Yes.
and viewers.
Please do.
I was thinking about the Mario Maker Direct tomorrow. I was like,
okay.
Kyle, why are you saying it's like this? These always happen.
No,
You're talking about the E3
The big
plans.
boy.
I was
The biggin.
Yeah, let's talk
Yes.
about this. Yeah, what is?
Oh, do you want it? No, Damiani, we have to save that stuff, man. That's a pre-E3 show. Give me two quick takes.
No. What they're
two quick takes.
what they said they're doing.
Why? What do they say they're doing?
You said they're doing more of the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like nothing like out of the ordinary.
What are you doing right now?
Yeah, Damian, you're freaking me out, dude.
He's trapping us.
Yeah. Nothing
All
out
right,
of the
just keep
ordinary.
going. Just keep going.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hubert, two quick takes. What's going to happen in that press conference?
We're gonna see a classic franchise return,
Okay.
and we are going to see an unexpected sequel.
I'll take the second one.
Are you like a
First
fortune
one-
teller, Huber? Like Huber's like, let me come up with stuff that has a high probability of being right.
I'm seeing the letter S. Something about the letter S.
All right,
Microsoft might talk about a Forza game.
hot take: Turok
Ooh.
in the Nintendo Direct.
That's a take.
You want one? Turok's coming.
Nintendo?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Turok's coming.
Okay.
Yep. Follow the money.
That is a hot.
Last week we talked about briefly NetherRealm and like how some stories had popped up that things are not good there as a studio, not just with crunch, but in terms of like workplace environment. Variety published an article over the last 7 days, which I thought was pretty cool. Headline: NetherRealm investigating worker concerns after studio-wide meeting. So NetherRealm saw all the bad buzz, saw the articles, had a big meeting together, and also apparently like canceled overtime for that week. So everybody's got to leave at 6. Nobody works over the weekend. Damiani is sighing. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't trust companies when it comes to this. I feel like they'll do everything to kind of like take it out of the limelight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're cutting the overtime this week. We're doing good. We're having like a little meeting and stuff. We're gonna address
Yes.
these concerns.
Yeah.
We're good here. Stop looking over here. Pay no attention. And then you'll hear maybe weeks, months later, more reports like, oh, we're still getting like crunch or things really haven't improved.
Yes.
Kind of like what happened with Riot. Like Riot said, oh, we're gonna fix things and stuff, and
Yeah.
up to the point where they had a walkout recently as
Right.
part of their protests, and people are still like, oh, Riot said, oh, we kind of like support this, and people are like, well, is that a good thing? Are they just like trying to like make this go away?
Yes.
you
Our
gotta
take last
question
week
that.
was kind of that,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I
at
know you
least it
talked-
was like something that happened. The step
Oh,
one,
yeah.
right? And to Variety's credit, the article kind of ends on Damiani's point. They interviewed only one employee, but that employee says like, hey man, we also have like a big patch coming out soon. So the overtime's coming. All of us are aware of it. And so, yeah, it is kind of, even it sounds like inside the studio, they're, apprehensive about taking this seriously. But hey, cool update.
Yeah.
Jeez. What's up? What?
Just the crunching right now
The
everywhere.
crunching, dude.
Is like making me depressed.
It's like they're gonna have to start advertising no crunch.
Yeah. This game was made with no crunch.
Yeah.
I
think they're gonna have to start doing that.
Sorry, I was thinking about
What?
a joke, but I don't know if it would work.
Are you Captain Crunch? What are you up to?
No, like when people in like food, like GMO free and stuff, like crunch free,
Crunch
like,
free.
Yes,
like
yes.
going like that.
Right, because we don't know what GMO
I didn't know if I could
was.
stick the landing on the joke, so I was like, let me tell you what it was supposed to
Yeah,
be, which is
I
not
like
how you-
it. I like the
That's not
punchline.
how you tell jokes.
Let me promise you something, Damiani. One person laughed.
Okay.
Yeah.
One person listening to this podcast had a good chuckle over that.
Corrections next week. In every comment, no one laughed. Damiani, please.
We checked in on the tens of thousands. Not one.
Straw poll. Did you laugh at Damiani's joke?
It's like 0. The impossible 0. Do y'all remember my favorite way to start a podcast?
No.
I think so.
It's a game announcement.
Oh,
I love game
yeah.
announcements. We have a big game announcement. This is going to be one of the biggest games of the year. It's going to be, in my estimation, one of the top 4 best-selling games of this year.
Oh, wow. What's this?
Wow, classic.
Call of Duty.
No, Call
Ghost
of Duty will
Recon.
be top
Ghost
2.
Recon.
Maybe 1 this year. Ghost Recon, dude.
That's right. Wildlands.
Yeah, I'm
big
pumped
seller.
on this. Yeah.
You know what? Top 4 is top 10 for sure. Top 10's a lot.
Top 10.
I may have outstepped some boundaries there. It's top 10.
The last one sold amazing, though, I thought.
It was, but I think it like finished 8 of the year basically, and so it did sell amazingly well. It sold better than any other Ghost Recon game. But by the end of the year, it kind of the fall season.
Yeah,
Kind
you already
of,
got like Kingdom Hearts 3 and like breaking records. Right?
Resident
Earlier
Evil
this
2
year.
crushing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Days Gone is crushing it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Safe bet.
we'll
Safe
see.
bet.
Anyway, it's a huge game, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Breakpoint with
Excuse me.
Frank Castle.
Pardon me.
Frank Castle.
Yeah,
Wait,
he's
what?
the villain, dude.
What?
Yes.
That's the same.
Yeah,
same voice
John
actor?
Bernthal.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Tom Clancy, I should have put in the beginning of that. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Just so we all know what type of game we're talking about.
Yeah.
Huber, how was this game revealed last week?
Really well. I loved this reveal. I streamed it. You can watch the archive, I'm sure, on twitch.tv/EasyAllies.
Nice plug.
But they came out, and it was a pre-recorded package. So the whole presentation was about 30 minutes. Came out, talked a little about it, really felt the passion, got a little green grass with the camera when the people were talking.
And I saw 4 people. I saw 4 developers.
Yeah, people would come in and come out. Just a really good energy. Showed a trailer, talked a little more, showed a really long, uninterrupted, felt like 10 minutes or so.
It's long. I think it is like 10 minutes.
Just a really long chunk of the game. Maybe like one last trailer and a little more about the game, and that was it. But yeah, they blew it up. They showed a lot.
I think that was cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Just it was a couple of days prior. Hey, we're having an event this Thursday. Check it out, and then just blew it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's a good way to reveal it in like comparison to say like how like EA reveals a lot of like their games, like shooters and stuff like that, or even like Call of Duty events? Do you think they should go for like that pre-recorded thing, or do you think
it's so tough because I think of the Star Wars reveal with like Cameron Monaghan coming out, and doing that whole thing, and they did have a trailer there, which is always nice, but it's so hit or miss because the conversations can either be really natural and passionate and fun to watch and interesting, or they can be really PR heavy and, really stilted and like, here's a softball question, here's my normal PR response. And it's like, it's really hit or miss. And if you can nail that, I would always want that because I want to see the people behind it. I want to see them just acting natural, normal, talking about their game and showing their game. But when you have this kind of package, it was just tight. It was concise. It showed the whole game. It showed a trailer showing it all, and then it just showed here's a chunk of gameplay.
I gotta know what you latched onto though. What was it like? Oh, this is so it is a sequel to Wildlands. The characters carry over and everything. Yeah. But when were you like, okay, this is its whole new game?
2 things. One is the like fictional island they're on.
Yes.
Looks awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of different like biomes or whatever. There's like a huge volcano, Resident Evil style.
Active volcano in there. Yes.
There's and the buildings gave me a Hitman 2 feeling.
Yeah. So a billionaire has this island and just uses it to create weaponry.
Yeah. Future tech.
Future tech.
Just insane drones
lot
that
of
can
drones.
just kill everyone. It's very scary.
Yeah.
Terrifying. And so that like the location and the technology drone aspect, and then the survival stuff of the main character running away from this unit coming after him, like fixing his arm. It's like Snake Eater style.
I got
He's
Snake
like,
Eater vibes. Yeah.
Nice.
So just the survival element.
You see that a couple of times. Maybe him like plucking something out of his arm.
Yeah.
And just, so you had to like take care of your body. It's not just auto heal as you run away, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. And just that completely different way to play in open world. Obviously, we need to like see more of the game to really know. But from what they showed, I'm hoping it is more of a dangerous place, because I think of the last Ghost Recon and it falls into the loop of, all right, go to this map point, clear it out, get my rewards, move on to the next one, get my rewards. This felt very like frantic and kind of like, I'm like surviving out here. I'm always being hunted. If I want to go do that mission, I might not be able to because I'm like getting so much resistance. Maybe I'll go this way instead. So the idea behind it seems cool.
One thing that they wanted to press was, that the enemies in the last one, they were a cartel. right? And so it's like you have better weaponry than they do. And so they wanted to stress in this one that the enemies have the same stuff you have or better. You're going to be fighting little drones that have guns attached to them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that is a strong point of like what makes this one different. October 3rd. October 4th, excuse me.
Yeah.
October 4th, 2019.
October's busy.
Yeah.
Why, what else is in October?
What was during State of Play? Medieval.
Medieval. It's a smaller one. No offense to Medieval. It's a smaller game.
I have a State of Play recap. I totally forgot about Medieval.
Oh!
Yeah, when we
Totally forgot about it, man.
when we reacted to
just
it, it was
forget
kind
about
of
it.
an afterthought. I mean, they showed Final Fantasy VII. That's a tough act to follow, but
Yeah, man.
But yeah, Hubert called it. He was like, yo, that comes out Halloween, and then boom, October 25th. Like,
that's
right.
close enough.
Yeah, the right time. Yeah, and obviously I think October will fill out post E3.
definitely.
We'll figure that out. That's Animal Crossing's month. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
It's Evil Within's month.
Animal Crossing's going to be September.
I like September for yeah. Evil Within, excuse me.
Yeah.
Evil Within 3.
Yeah. Do you remember when 2 came out? They announced it at E3 and released it in October.
And look at this shirt. If
Yeah.
you're a listener, you're missing the fact that Huber is wearing
Huber.
an Evil Within shirt. Never gave up.
Never given up on it,
Yes.
dude. Finish it out. Close it out.
The studio hasn't shut down. They're working on something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would even take at this point like a final conclusion as DLC for 2.
You're not. It's too
You
late
know?
for that. No, it's
Never too late.
It will be the prologue to
yeah.
the Evil Within 3, Hubert.
Right, because I feel like if I'm the boss,
will.
like I wouldn't tell the team to work on something that won't sell well, like this many years that like people have traded it in. You know what I mean?
They had the first person DLC not too long ago.
It was like a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's not long.
It was a long dude. We got to let that one slide. So yeah, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It's so weird. Just like Wildlands, I think that we were not going to be too stoked about it, and it's just one of those that's going to be like outside of our bubble, hugely successful.
I'm extremely excited about this
Well then,
one.
good. It's inside of our bubble. Great.
Wildlands,
Yes.
I was not excited about.
Yeah.
I remember when they showed it at E3 and we were just like, like all of us, I'm pretty sure we're just not into it.
Yeah.
And then I played it with Jones a little bit and I was like, oh, that's fine. Never finished it.
Yeah.
But this one, just the setting, the story, the survival element, John Bernthal in there as the villain, I'm already hooked.
Man, an evil billionaire's island.
Yeah.
Give me that, man.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Totally.
Did they have character classes in the first one?
No.
Okay, so
I
that
think
is a
that's
new thing
new,
they're adding
yeah.
to this one is character classes.
Yeah.
You and your 3 friends can be different classes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool. And so just as I kind of hinted at, I also want to talk about the State of Play that happened last week. State of Play is Sony's version of Nintendo Directs. This was only the second one. 10 minutes long?
10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, they said it was 10 minutes. I don't know if it actually was only 10 minutes, but it felt short. It was
Yeah.
short. Yeah.
And they kind of off the top said, hey, this can be a breezy one.
Yeah.
I kind of respect that. That seemed
Love that.
almost to recognize what the last one was.
They
no.
know now. They know to temper the
Yeah.
expectations. I'm glad that's finally getting through
Yeah.
to these huge companies. Temper our expectations.
Yeah, but after this one, now people won't be tempering.
Yeah, we didn't
They're
need
like,
to temper them.
Oh!
So, yeah, I think maybe most people listening already know by now, but the way this thing ended was with a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake. But really quick point, and we'll get into it. In terms of tempering expectations, something I really respect that they did. The thing opens, the graphical open of a State of Play is like a PS4 turning on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they played the Final Fantasy VII noise, which only people who already love Final Fantasy VII would recognize. To me, that was kind of a way of like, all right, everybody relax, it's coming.
Yeah.
But here's 8 more minutes of other stuff.
It was beautiful.
But yeah, so you didn't have to like watch that 8 minutes with anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, is this gonna happen? It's like, hey, everybody, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be at the end. Just watch and have a good time. How did this panel feel about that trailer?
Oh.
No, the Final Fantasy
Take us
VII.
away, Damiani.
Damiani famously said before this that it
Yeah.
would be a mistake if Square Enix would show a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Whoa.
Was it a
This
mistake?
soon. This I mean, you're so close to E3. Just
wait.
Just wait.
Did they make a mistake?
Because this trailer was good.
Yes.
But the problem is, I think now expectations are even higher for what like E3. They're like, people are going to be expecting. Realistically, I feel like you have to expect playable. You have to expect
Yes.
and even like reveals. They've
A title,
They
an
have,
actual title, like
No,
episode
I think-
1 or something. Final Fantasy VII episode 1.
I don't know if they're going to.
We'll get into that for sure.
Yeah, maybe if they do that. But there's certain characters they haven't even revealed yet. Like Tifa, we don't know how she's supposed to be in a lot of the scenes we saw. We do not see her in any of them. So people are like, what's her redesign look like? There's a lot of stuff people now expecting.
Yeah.
But to focus on this, it was really good because I think it showed, first and foremost, it showed progress. It showed how much the game has changed since the last time we saw it, which is back in the end of 2015. Well, we've seen
PSX.
screenshots, but like the last time in action was PSX 2015. And it was framey, to be very kind to that trailer.
Sure.
You can see like the models have improved. They've addressed the complaints about Cloud size.
Yep.
They kind of filled him out a little bit more. It looked really good.
Was he was too skinny before?
Yeah.
People thought he was too
That's funny.
scrawny, essentially, yeah. And
Okay.
that he didn't look right.
Sure.
So they took that to heart. It showed a lot, like it showed the combat, showed the new HUD, like it showed just enough, but also teased some stuff, like some of the different stuff in there as well. Not just like how they're reimagining like the environments, how they're gonna look in like this new 3D visual style, but like the Sephiroth drop at the end that does not happen in the game. I mean, people
Right.
think it might be somewhere else, but if it is in the portion they showed, which is mostly the bombing run mission, it's like, what is this? I was like, is this a reinterpretation of Cloud losing his mind at the first time he goes near the reactor, where he has like the mental breakdown, and they have to like, hey, Cloud, come on, let's go. Like, is that what he was seeing in his head? Like Sephiroth appeared to him. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is kind of cool. I was kind of liking that.
I think narratively it actually works to put Sephiroth. Maybe not Sephiroth
You don't see
himself
his face,
there. Right.
You don't see his face. You just see his back. So
Yeah.
maybe they're gonna do the full reveal right there.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it'll work. I think that's actually not bad.
How in the hell is a fight with Sephiroth even going to work in that game? That's what I want to know. That's my biggest
Quick time
question.
event like Advent
That
Children.
massive sword he wields? Like, how are you even going to like do that?
Here's my one request: is
Oh.
unequip counter when you're fighting Sephiroth. Just enjoy the fight. Unequip counter.
Yeah, I like it.
The big mistake I made. But I mean, we got to see combat, and it is, how would we describe it? Because it wasn't a tutorial, right? It wasn't just like, here's how this game's gonna work.
Yeah.
But we saw basically the lower left-hand corner basically had two attacks at a time. It seems like that you can select.
Yeah, it had like you could cycle through. There were shortcuts. It was people were trying to compare it to like a little bit of Kingdom Hearts and a little bit of Final Fantasy 15's battle system. It's probably somewhere in between. But yeah, it had like the moves. Like we were calling out, oh, there's the move. There's a name there. It appears there.
Yeah.
But they had like a current, like a meter, like a currency. It looked like probably action points that you spend on each action you take in battle.
Yeah.
Because they had all the other normal meters. They had health.
Yeah.
They had like the limit gauge. Jeez. They had like MP. They had stuff like that. And then they had like another new meter below it, which because it's real time and not turn based, it essentially. They got to figure it so you don't just spam buttons and keep mashing
Yeah.
actions and stuff. And it looked like the flow of battle wasn't. I don't know. It was weird to me. It felt like while it wasn't quite turn based, it felt like it was still respecting the style of the original game somehow. That it wasn't just like all full out like fast paced action like nonstop.
totally.
If I could describe that, I think maybe the camera position is in that as well. Because I agree
Yes.
with that weird point, Damiani, is that it isn't turn-based at all, but it does sort of like respect that old battle system.
Yeah.
Visually, perhaps.
Because it focused like on each person taking an action, essentially, like that
Yeah.
dynamic camera shifting, and you could cycle between characters as well.
That's
like they
very
showed
important,
that,
right.
And I was like, okay, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far in respects to like the combat system. Also, when Brad lost his mind when he asked me to rewind to show the materia already
Yeah.
affixed in the Buster Sword, so
God of War style.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you see it. Oh, so cool.
So
That is
There's
very cool.
a lot of cool little details there. But yeah, I don't know what your thoughts were. I don't want to. The only thing I want to touch upon later is like Barrett.
What
Touch
about
on it
him?
now.
But
What's wrong?
I don't want to keep talking. I want.
No, I can't wait to.
I gotta hear this.
I can't wait to cycle over to Barrett.
Yeah,
dude,
so-
covering fire. Let's go.
Yeah. So I mean,
Holding shoot
well,
down.
after watching it, it seemed like a lot of topics popped up about Barrett's depiction in the trailer and concerns over whether or not Square Enix was going to do a better job with the character this time around. And it looks like people have some concerns over that, whether or not they're going to be able to effectively, depict a character not in a cartoonish, borderline, almost racist. Maybe diet racist is the best way to put it there
Sure.
for the original game. And, maybe like just if you're reimagining so much of this game, maybe you could like update his character a little bit. Like he still can have some of his tropes, but, be a little bit more respectable. Be a little bit more, sensitive to like the character and stuff, and not fall into those same pitfalls.
Yeah.
And that discussion eventually led into like other expected things that might be in the game, such as like the cross-dressing scene with Cloud. Like people are like, if they can't get Barrett right, are you gonna even trust them to do this scene right? Like, how those concerns are starting to come out now. And expect them to keep happening as more of the game is revealed, because that game is a little bit of a product of its time, like 90s development in Japan.
Yeah,
and a lot of that won't necessarily fly as well in whenever this game comes out.
Right, and Square Enix is a giant international
and
company
they should
now.
be aware of this.
There are, I think, only 2 or 3 Barrett lines in the trailer, right? And it's that kind of intensity. Like maybe it gets better, right? But the direction is cartoonish, I would say, Damiani, where it isn't for other characters. So like it's not an unfair point to bring up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question people want to see more.
Yeah.
We want to see, like, I think E3 will be like the first real, okay, you've shown us a good amount now that we can make a more informed decision about how we feel about your depiction of this character.
Right.
I think, and this, call me crazy, Kyle and Huber, this is why I'm a little bit worried about why they're hiding Tifa. I'm really worried that her design is going to cause like outcry one way or the other.
I can guarantee you it will.
It'll either be too sexualized and there's going to be like that outcry, or it's going to be so redesigned. Like people didn't lose their shit with Claire's redesign or Ada's. They were like, okay, makes sense. But I don't know.
There was some disappointment early on, because of the pants or whatever.
I expect at least that much disappointment, or even more. Like there'll be, I think there will be some fans who are just like, why did you do this to Tifa? Like, why did you have to do that to her?
Yeah. I
love Tifa.
There's no right way to do that. Oh, they nailed it.
Advent Children, dude.
I bet
Tifa looks awesome in Advent Children.
I bet if she looks like Advent Children, people will still be mad, dude. Like there's just a way. There's just a way to get uproar over like a beloved character's.
Yeah, no, like Aerith, I think they did a really good job with that. But even that, Kyle, I forget where it's happening. I don't know if it's here, Japan, or everywhere. Because I saw the text was in Japanese for the comments for this. There are already people doing the whole thing of her face isn't cute enough.
What?
Yeah, there was a discussion that came up where people are already starting that. She's not cute enough. Please, the whole Faith thing with Mirror's Edge, Catalyst, when they did that. Like that nonsense again.
Faith isn't meant to be cute.
I know. So like I looked at Aerith. I was like, how much cuter do you want? Like what? Like I didn't understand. I was like, what?
I thought the flower part of the trailer was adorable.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't understand it. I thought maybe it was a joke or meme, but I guess it's serious. But that's gonna happen times whatever with Tifa. Like that's gonna be
sure.
I mean, I don't need to say the obvious what's gonna happen there, but I mean the first thing besides her outfit, they're gonna look at a part of her body and be like, Square Enix, what did you do? And it's going to be like, just calm down.
All right, Damiani, here's my guess, though. Square Enix knows they nailed it, and that's why they haven't shown Tifa yet.
That could be it.
Tifa's hype.
Yeah.
Like, that would be fantastic.
And
like,
Tifa's going to be the most fun to play as because she punches and kicks.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm so hyped.
Yes.
I am really hoping, like, I have to believe Square Enix is at least aware enough about, like, broader things and knows that they want to nail this because this is so important for them to get this game right.
Yeah, but so everything I think they nailed though. You can you can make a case for Barrett's voice, but I think everything in that trailer. I don't think it's a great trailer in trailer wise, but it shows that they're crushing everything. They're making a game, and it looks like a unique vision while staying true to the old one. And I really it gave me confidence in the whole project, which I think is why they put that out.
And the improvement on the last trailer.
Yes.
Damiani was talking
Huber.
about.
I feel right now how I feel about Final Fantasy VII Remake is how I felt about Resident Evil 2 Remake. Like everything I had seen.
Yeah.
And like that's what I'm hoping my experience is that when I finally play it, it's just like how I felt playing RE2 Remake.
Yeah.
Like love the original, but I'm going to love this one so much as well. And that's like my dream right now, Kyle.
More to come in?
They said June.
E3.
Yeah,
but there's
E3.
a concert before that.
Damiani, will you be disappointed if you go to that concert and see nothing new for
Oh
Final
no,
Fantasy
at this
VII
point
Remake?
no, but like what I really want to happen,
Okay.
If you want me to act the troll and do the troll answer here.
Act the troll.
They give only people who attend the concert a code for a demo that won't be available to later for everyone else.
In your dreams.
You get a ticket when you go there. When you go in, they give you something. There's a code on it, and when they're done with the concert, say that code can be redeemed right now when you go home for PS4 or Xbox or whatever for a playable demo, which will be the one at E3 and will be available to people later this week.
You'll be lucky if it's like, here's a little hat for can't cheat. Like,
Actually,
you'll be lucky
the demo
to get that.
won't be available that day. It'll be available
Here's the
later,
theme.
but only people at the concert get to play it first. Everyone else gets it later.
In your dreams.
And then I'm going to come back and tell you all, guess what, guys? We're going to play Final Fantasy VII demo before everyone else.
You promise you will share it with us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like, if they actually shadow drop it there, I will rush back to the studio. We will interrupt whatever press conference we're doing, and we will stream that
And
demo.
whatever musical performance is happening, it's just like,
Out of here.
yeah.
We have like, Brad, here's the code. Start downloading it now.
I do want to talk quickly before we move on about something else that was confirmed through Square Enix's PR after that state of play. Is that it's still a multi-part game. I don't think they like using the term episodic. We do, but it's not episodic in the way Life is Strange is, right?
Correct.
We're not expecting to get episode 1 of this and then 3 months later get. Well, I guess it's more like 6 months for Life is Strange these days, right? 4. Like, it's not gonna be that kind of episodic. That's not our expectation. We expect this game to be 30 or 40 hours on its own.
Yeah, it's going to be like a...
No, this will be $60 an episode. Are you kidding me?
Sorry, 34 hours.
Oh,
Yeah, time-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's going to be like God of War 1, 2, 3. It's going to be like a trilogy. Like,
Yeah, I think it'll be 3 episodes.
You're going to wait a few years between each, yeah.
A few years in between?
Yeah, we're
I think
going
you're-
like
This first part has a decent chance of probably coming out cross-gen, like probably next...
Yeah.
Maybe end of this year.
Double
like,
dip.
I could see it being
But
like
the other
episode
parts are
1.
probably gonna be
I could see it being like a year later and then 2 years later or something.
Wow.
They'll each be two. It'll be. Say it comes out at the end of this year. Part 2 will be 2021, and then last part will be 2023.
That's exciting to me.
Yeah.
That just means you get to enjoy and savor this monumental video game release for years. You
Yeah,
know, I compared it to Kingdom Hearts. Like we'd been waiting so long for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I just feel like even if you loved it, it just came and went so fast. You know, you beat that game over like a weekend or like a weekend and a half. It's just gone. That's it. It's done. Like
DLC's coming, bud. It's coming.
more DLC for sure, but
Yeah.
like this way, I don't know. I'm excited about being able to savor this.
Yeah, I feel
Sure.
like the thing was a lot of some of that might have had to do with how protective people were about sharing their playthroughs, their experiences.
True,
with people
yeah, the
to
conversation was,
avoid.
like,
So
non-existent
there's a lot of like
immediately, yeah.
gating and like shielding between like, hey, don't talk about this till a certain point because we've waited so long for it, like spoiler culture essentially. And
I get it,
because
I
of
get
that, it wasn't able to like permeate through like social media as
Yeah.
as strongly as it could have.
This is a magnificent point.
and held its presence. Whereas like think of like
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, which doesn't have a lot of story spoilers, but
Right.
like it was gameplay moments. Like
Yes.
those games, like Fortnite, everything that I mean, obviously Fortnite's updated, but like I'm thinking of single player games.
Resident
Why?
Evil 2.
Yeah. Why did RE2? Why did Breath of the Wild? Why those games last more than a month of like even more than like 2 or 3 weeks after its launch, and it becomes just like a hot like a popular thing that people talked about for so long. I think if Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't have that protective nature around it, I think people would have been discussing. There would have been like more things online. It would have been talked about. I think it
Here's
would
my
have.
question for you.
Yeah.
Will Final Fantasy VII Remake have the same bubble?
It
will it have
will
the
not,
same force field?
and I predict there'll be a little bit of backlash against that.
Sure.
Because there already is discussions happening now about whether or not people should start shutting up about spoilers for that game for a new generation.
Yeah.
About that moment. So I won't spoil it now because for this. But I will probably change my mind after this. I think going forward after this moment, I don't care if I spoil it for you because I'm going to argue why. But I'll give you this one last chance when I'm addressing this. So that moment, the one we all talk about, that's
Wait,
like...
what are you about to do on this podcast?
Yeah, what is happening?
What is happening right
No,
now?
no, no.
No spoilers.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Okay, all right.
That's why I said I'm not spoiling anything.
Great,
But
okay.
that moment, you two know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
The one that's like everyone who played that game
It
likes to
involves
point
Red
to.
13.
Yes, well, it's
so
Red
Red
13
13 moment.
Okay.
that people say it was a watershed moment for gaming. It was
Yes.
like how we can relate to this stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's like 22 years or 23 years later, wherever it comes out, we want a new generation to experience this. I don't think that's possible. And that's why I don't think you should protect this spoiler anymore. Too many nowadays you are exposed to so many different like types of ideas and things done in narratives that have been recycled so much that this thing is not as special anymore. This happening in this game, you've probably played a dozen other games which have something similar happening where you're like, oh, it was emotional for me. I don't think it's going to be as poignant as it was to some of us who played it originally. And I think it's not necessary to do that, because all you're going to do is set people up for disappointment. They're going to be, this is so unrealistically hyped. People tell me, I got to play Final Fantasy VII. There's this moment in this game that everyone talks about that happened. You got to get to it again. Okay, that was a moment, but that wasn't, what? Was that? I can see what's a big deal, but like, they're not going to, I guess, it was one of the first times that it happened. You don't get to do that again. Like, history doesn't get a do-over at that. You know, we all remember.
Yeah.
Like, that history exists. You're like basically denying history at that point, and you can't force that. You can't artificially manufacture that. And I think you shouldn't go out of way to be an asshole to someone and do it, but like, you need to understand it. Like, it's not the end of the world. Even me. So like, I'm saying with you, I'm actually not a part of that club. I'm part of the group that played Final Fantasy VII years after it came out.
Me too. Years
knew
later.
about this thing.
Years later.
But I didn't know how it happened or when it happened, and I was still shocked by it because it was so close to it. It was like 3 years after.
Yeah.
So I know it's a little bit against my argument, but I think not knowing too many specifics helps. Just knowing it isn't enough to ruin it. But at the same time, I think people, my opinion is that you should back off a little bit and be like, it's okay. Like, it's not gonna ruin the game for you if you know this. I think you will still enjoy this game if it's good. It won't rest upon that one scene, you not knowing about it.
I am all about emotions, though, so like, I think it's unfair to say that people wouldn't have a similar emotional reaction, even though it is decades later, if they didn't know about the stuff. So I still think I'm definitely not going to go out of my way to spoil anything about Final Fantasy VII, but I also feel like because it's such an important remake that like comparing it and mentioning and referencing the original is important and it is part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But still, I'm going to still try to be conscious of big story spoilers.
For sure. I'm thinking of myself as a creator of Final Fantasy VII right now, getting in those boots. To Damiani's point about impact, I think you can't count on that having the impact it did. So let's say we're making a Matrix remake. Let's say we're responsible for that.
Rumors.
Yeah. The end of our movie can't be like, oh, Neo becomes godlike and can pick up bullets.
Yeah, Neo the one.
Yes.
Like, that can't be like the spoiler.
That can't be it. That can't be the climax of your film, right? You have to think of something new, something bigger. And I almost think that Final Fantasy VII creators have to be in the same boat of like thinking, okay, we need a way to punctuate the end of chapter 1 of whatever we're doing.
Do you think they'll change any big plot points?
I don't think they'll change big plot things. I think they'll reimagine them.
Yeah.
I think the excitement of that moment that we're referring to, Huber, is seeing how they redo it. Because I don't think it's going to go down the same way. I think they slightly change it. Yeah. The end result will still be the same, but I think they will adjust it. And everyone will be like, oh, man, like, look how... I think it'll still be talked about. But that's because they're trying to do something different. They're not trying to recreate the original moment. But I also, Hubert, I want to give you credit there. Like, I do also sympathize with that perspective. I don't want to label everyone as like no one will get any emotional. Like, if I told someone the ending, I might have actually, or not ending. It's not the ending. If I told someone this point, I might have ruined it for them. They might actually have had a really powerful moment with that. But I think the point is, don't go out of your way to be the a-hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who, like in the title says, oh, so the scene went blah, 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 blah. It's like, just know if you go into any thread or any forum, any social media
any
discussion.
Water cooler, any school bus.
Where it says Final Fantasy VII
back
discussion.
alley.
Any museum.
Any Applebee's.
Don't.
Not Applebee's. I draw the line there.
Applebee's free reign.
Sorry.
Okay.
Free reign. Applebee's safe. But if you go to anything marked with Final Fantasy VII discussion, be aware that you are opening yourself up to that. You know, basically don't make headlines, don't make topics like where you can't avoid them or images. But once you enter an area where that discussion's happening, like all bets need to be off at this point. Like that's a little unrealistic.
Sure. How funny would it be if Applebee's advertised themselves to millennials as a restaurant where you cannot have spoilers?
I thought you were going to say the other way.
I hope
you can come here and talk about all spoilers.
That's Chili's, dude. Spoilers welcome at
Square
Chili's.
Enix announces that partnership.
Yes.
It's like people who play the original go to Chili's.
Real quick, I want to get through the rest of State of Play. I think that was an interesting conversation. We had the announcement of Predator Hunting Grounds. What is that, Huber?
That is a Friday the 13th style game where someone is the predator and then other players are soldiers. And the soldiers have to go through and take out other computer-controlled enemies to get stronger while the predator is hunting them.
Oh, okay. So yeah, thank you for explaining that. It makes you stronger. Because I saw that they can like carry out missions and like I think they had to like find documents and things in addition to killing enemies.
Yeah.
Asymmetric gameplay.
Yeah.
What are they
Evolve.
called? Iltronic?
Yeah.
Ilmatic? Ilphonic.
Ilphonic.
Ilphonic is the developer who made Friday the 13th.
Which is so like right in there, man.
What?
It's
Right in
so
where?
good.
What?
Friday the 13th, like the DNA, the bones. Friday the 13th has good bones.
I'll play Dead by Daylight, thank you. Isn't that what most people would say?
I don't know. Like Dead by Daylight has some cool stuff, but there was just something about like Crystal Lake, Friday the 13th, the music, playing as Jason, just the vibe of it was so spot on and right that I'm excited. Like if they care even half as much about Predator as they do Friday the 13th, like we're in good hands.
Sure.
And remember that Friday the 13th was a Kickstarter game. There's some
Who's
lost
publishing this one?
Sony
Worldwide Studios.
and 20th Century Fox is involved too. So this just seems like it has higher budget, more backing, less behind the scenes drama. Because again, Friday the 13th was Kickstarted, and they got sued by people who owned Friday the 13th.
Oh right, and they lost the license at some point.
License. So just there were so many bugs on the game. There were so many problems holding that game back from being great. But I hopefully don't see that happening with.
Let me ask you something really quick though.
Yeah.
When you were playing the Fortnite special mode with like the Avengers costumes versus Thanos and his minions.
Yeah.
You told me people were dropping out because they didn't want to be Thanos and his minions.
Yes.
Does that kind of thing happen with this game with people who like drop out because they didn't get to be Predator?
I can imagine it. Like they need to find a way to make being the military crew fun.
Yeah.
Because even Friday the 13th, there were so many times when it's like, oh, I just want to be Jason.
Yeah.
I want to be Jason right now. And when you're not, like it was still fun because running from Jason is really fun. Like being in a cabin and seeing him walk by is terrifying and frightening. And it's like you're in the movie, So I imagine you'll still have that reaction, if you see like Predator, dude, cloaking, like he's out there, he's just someone cloaked like in the movie and he's just standing on the woods. I imagine those moments will still be awesome.
Yeah.
But definitely make the Marines fun to play as well.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's cool that Marines actually have objectives and things to do while they're hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
And I hope like the Predators, the players are smart and they pick you off one by one.
Yeah.
So it's just you and one other guy left at the end.
Yeah.
Mudding up. I think you can put mud on, right?
I hope so.
Mud was a Ghost Recon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a Ghost Recon
They
thing.
should add it to Predator.
God,
They
that
should add that to
crossover.
Predator.
And they need an Arnold Schwarzenegger skin. Please let me be Dutch. Please, please, please.
He's like, that's going to up the budget by like 100%.
Yeah.
That'll double your budget.
Yeah, I would love it. See, this is why I want to know video game budget.
It's not. It's just,
Because
it
I
would not
want to
double your budget at
know.
all. Yeah.
I want to know so badly the cost.
Give us the number.
Like, give me the budget of the game
Yeah.
and then how much it would cost.
Yes.
Like we called up Arnold.
Yeah.
He wrote a number down on a piece of paper. This was it.
Like that.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I desperately want to know that.
Yeah.
Those things never get out, dude.
No.
Y'all hear that? It sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of May. Girls Make Games. Did you know that by 3rd grade, girls begin to lose confidence in their math and technical abilities, and that by 7th grade, they're no longer interested in a career related to technology, like software development? That's where Girls Make Games comes in. They offer summer camps across the US and the UK, and offer up to 100% financial assistance across all locations. Girls Make Games is on a mission to empower and inspire the next generation of designers, creators, and engineers. For more info and to support this mission, visit girlsmakegames.com. Our gifted sponsor is the Able Gamers Foundation, a nonprofit charity that aims to improve the overall quality of life for those with disabilities through the power of video games, creating opportunities that enable play in order to combat social isolation, foster inclusive communities, and improve the quality of life for people with disabilities. The link to donate is in the description. El Fanis. Uniqlo, a Japanese fashion brand aiming to change the world through the power of clothing. With a focus on high quality and innovative textiles, Uniqlo is redefining everyday clothing by increasing the functionality of your wardrobe at an affordable price. They call it LifeWear, made for all. Visit uniqlo.com/EZA to check out their collections, including new and upcoming graphic t-shirt collaborations with Nintendo, Star Wars, Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, and many more. That's uniqlo.com/EZA. Fangamer, makers of officially licensed merchandise for games like Dark Souls, Hollow Knight, Stardew Valley, Undertale, Katamari Damacy, and Persona 5, not to mention Easy Allies t-shirts. Their newest products include the Hollow Knight Collector's Edition for Switch, PS4, and PC, a Prince and Katamari magnetic plush, and a Sans hoodie from Undertale. Check out their store at fangamer.com. Sweet Justice, a sound design company from the southern shores of the UK. They've worked on some of the biggest AAA titles, the most refreshing indie titles, and collaborated with the best development teams in the world. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Or at least, that Good Business Lawyer's YouTube and podcast series, Virtual Legality. This week in Virtual Legality, Hogue discusses proposed loot box laws, Xbox Live's new community guidelines, the restructuring of games journalism, the Apple App Store Supreme Court holding, and of course, Game of Thrones. Check it out at youtube.com/HOEG Law or on your favorite podcast service. Car Keys Express. If you need a replacement car key or a remote, check out carkeysexpress.com/store. Use the coupon code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 10% off of your order. They are proud sponsors of Easy Allies. And our mega sponsor, Heroic Replicas. The fine folks at Heroic Replicas design and fabricate true-to-form, high-quality replicas and props. From legendary gear to keepsakes or all-metal creations, Heroic Replicas can make something special for you. Through the month of May, Heroic Replicas is auctioning off 4 unique items, one each week, with proceeds going directly to fund future months of sponsorship of Easy Allies. This week, from Stardew Valley, an old mariner has appeared, offering the Mermaid's Pendant. The Mermaid's Pendant features a brilliant blue seashell with a sterling silver chain. In Stardew Valley, you may give this to the person you want to marry. In real life, it works about the same. Bidding starts at $1. 3 are available, with auctions ending Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, May 21st. If you missed last week's auction, the Dark Link Master Sword, you can learn more by following @Heroic Replicas on Twitter, and don't forget to retweet the new auction link if you'd like to support Heroic Replicas and Easy Allies. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, Jones. That was really nice of you. Before we move on, we should say Predator is announced for 2020.
Yeah.
Used zero gameplay in the trailer. It was all
Yep.
CG. And so, yeah, we don't know much about it yet.
Nothing really.
Interesting, though. Interesting pick for Sony Worldwide Studios, I would say, to publish it.
Yeah.
And like reading into what Ilphonic was writing, it sounds like they approached Fox about it, and then like they approached Sony to like publish this.
So they wanted to do it.
They wanted to do Predator.
The passion.
Yes.
Dude, will there be Alien DLC, Damiani?
If it launches well.
Yeah.
They're definitely talking about it.
Yeah.
There's somebody in the office who's brought it up, right? And I'm sure they said, Leonard, first things first, bud.
Yeah.
We're working on
Yeah,
making
get
the
this
Predator
right.
work. Yeah. No, but I just think it'd be Leonard.
Because if they do like, you know, the trendy season style of game, you know, like Fortnite seasons, Apex Legends, you could have some alien event.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we talked about it when we were talking about like Battle Royale games and like franchises that would lend themselves to that. Like just a bunch of aliens in a Battle Royale game, so fun.
Yeah.
So it's the dream.
yeah.
It's the dream.
It is.
Oh, and the other one we had was basically it's a normal battle royale mode with humans, but then at the very end, when you're the last person to survive, the predator comes for you because it knows you're the strongest warrior.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
The predator,
Yes.
the predator lore is that they just want to fight. They just want to
Yeah.
find the strongest warriors and beat them.
Oh my gosh, you're trying to win the battle royale so you can fight the predator. It's
Yeah.
like the best reward
It's
ever.
the best reward, yeah.
Yes.
Let me do some quick headlines. We got some quick ones. A lot of these, just like the Predator thing, is like, well, there's not too much to talk about because we don't know too much. Firstly, that DeNA and the Pokemon Company are working on a new game that will launch within the next 12 months. They, of course, are the team that made Pokemon Go with Niantic. So Niantic was not mentioned at all, so this could be something completely different from what a Pokemon Go would be like. But, hey, new Pokemon mobile game coming out.
You're not excited.
I am not excited.
Ouch.
You can't get me close to excited for whatever this will be. Because I don't think it'll be like Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is still doing very well.
Oh yeah.
Would a Tamagotchi style game where you take care of a Farfetch'd excite you?
Here's what I like about Tamagotchi, dude.
Yeah.
Is the consequences. So if Tamagotchis didn't digivolve,
Yeah.
Digimon started off as Tamagotchis, man. If you didn't have this mystery coming out of like, oh, the care I'm putting into this thing will result in it becoming this other creature that reflects how much of a caretaker I am.
Yeah.
Like that's what's really exciting about Tamagotchis. That Farfetch'd is staying the same.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a Pikachu one. It's just called Pokemon Pikachu, where it just would like grow, and it was lame. It was just like get bigger and bigger, and then by the end you just see a big Pikachu face. But it didn't like there weren't options. There wasn't a tree. Whether you're treating it like pretty good or okay, it's going to be the same Pikachu.
Got it.
Pretty boring.
So my answer is no.
Can you spoiler one question about Detective Pikachu because I haven't seen it? One spoiler. Possibly.
Let's hear the question, and then we'll make that determination.
Does Farfetch'd reveal itself?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Didn't make the cut.
Damn it. I'm sad for you, Kyle.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was looking out for him.
I bet.
Even up to the end. He can still show up. He can still be here. Not a single one. We have a cancellation. Project Prelude Rune. Hubert, do you have any idea what that is?
No clue.
I totally forgot until this day when I saw the headline. So Hideo Baba of the Tales series, over at Bandai Namco, left Bandai Namco to go to Square Enix. I think this was like a year ago, maybe a year plus, to make this studio called Studio Isatolia. Made that studio, announced this project, Project Prelude Rune, showed some concept art, very painterly, very high fantasy. You're on top of some dragons that have like 1,000 horns, you know what I mean? Just very intricate style. Just this week, it was announced, last month Hideo Baba left Square Enix.
Well, was it announced that he left, but he had already left?
It was probably the announcement.
Yeah, because that was the weird thing. Is like, oh, by the way, he's already left.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah. I think
whoa.
he announced it, Damiani, because there was something about
Okay.
like I want to like leave this to the next generation. It was not implied that hey, my game's getting canceled and so is my studio when he left. And then this week, studio's gone, game's canceled. Sorry, we even bothered trying that.
Bummer.
It's a bummer. I think Square Enix has to make hard cuts like this. You know what I mean? It could have been another Quiet Man, and they're just seeing it come together.
Yeah.
It is a bummer that Quiet Man gets made and these weird fantasy games don't. But you can't just spend your money willy-nilly, is the truth, right? And so it probably just wasn't coming together.
Quiet Man's failure probably got this game canceled.
And Final Fantasy VII Remake looking great, and they're like, why can't you be like this? Why can't you just... One thing we didn't talk about when we talked about Remake, and the last time we saw it, had a different developer at that point. It was CyberConnect. Mm-hmm. And so this is the first we've seen of Square Enix's version.
Eternal,
Yeah, which is cool. And you know what? I don't know if we'll go too far into this headline. Variety, another Variety headline, got into the ESA and how poorly run it is. ESA is the company that not only makes ratings for games, also runs E3, most relevant to this team here, and also is a lobbyist group, and is in Washington D.C. Hobnobbing with senators to make sure the laws are all cool. But which is part of why we have ratings. Anyway, it's funny because E3 is definitely changing rapidly in some questionable ways. Variety got to the bottom of it. Pretty cool article, very extensive. I'm not sure how interesting it is to people outside of people who are going to E3 as an event. Go ahead, Damiani.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm interested in the announcement of the new. They were from Bethesda's parent company,
ZeniMax?
ZeniMax, right? Former president.
So the CEO from ZeniMax moved over to the ESA?
Yeah, yes,
Oh.
they're the one because they replaced. They ousted the other one, or he retired
Right.
essentially last year, and it's Pierre something.
I can bring it up if we want that.
They brought in, a new person to run the stuff. Was a corporate lawyer for Viacom, I think, when we were there at Game Trailer. I was like, wait, I might recognize this name. Why do I recognize this name? And they said Viacom. I'm like, oh, maybe they were there. Anyway, that's not the important part I want to talk about. There's plenty that could, at some point, could be talked about that and like the policies of the ESA and what went wrong with their previous person in charge, who does,
Mike Gallagher.
Yeah, there's some very highly questionable things about that guy.
Right.
But I want to talk about E3 specifically and what ESA is doing about E3 really quick.
Sure.
I don't even want to spend too much time.
Yeah, talk about it broadly.
Because this might,
let's say I'm never going to E3 in my life,
but
right?
this might interest people. That
Okay.
So here's the thing: the problem is E3 is in this weird place right now where it's partially public, partially still a industry trade show. In that, like, you can go if you're not an industry person like us or media or something. If you pay enough money, and it's a lot of money to go. Like they just sell tickets, straight up sell tickets now, but they cost a lot of money, more than most other conventions. But the thing is, it's still only 3 days, part of a day, and then 2 full days, or it's not even 2 full days. It's like first day starts late, Tuesday starts late, so it's like 11 or 10 or whatever to like the end of the day. Wednesday is the only full day, and then Thursday ends a little early. So you got barely 3 days of this trade show, the actual show floor, and you're sending a ton of people there, public people and press people on top of each other. And like last year was like probably the worst year for me going to it. Couldn't go and play anything if you didn't have an appointment. Like even like I don't want to, it's not to demean or belittle anyone, but the ones in the past you used to be able to walk up to certain booths and just walk up at any point and just play that game, because unfortunately a lot of people weren't checking out, had like 30+ minute lines. I'm sure that's probably happy, but it's like miserable for everyone else trying to go there for the experience. Other popular shows, trade shows, already have figured it out. I don't get why the ESA hasn't done this yet.
But you get it after reading this article.
What?
And you get it after reading this article. And actually, you know, the companies that run other popular trade shows said, like, hey, we'll do E3 for you.
Yeah.
And ESA was like, no, thanks, we got
This
it.
is the problem, dude. Like, Tokyo Game Show and Gamescom, the two other biggest game shows in other regions of the world.
Yeah.
They do public days and then private days, like industry only. The industry only days come first, or in Gamescom's book, they have all the public exhibitor space, but then they have a press only area with the same, like, they're just like meeting rooms, but they have the same games there. The thing is, there's a lot of like E3, the ESA's way they run E3. Basically, you've seen a lot of companies pull out. Yeah. Like EA has pulled out, Microsoft has pulled out. They do their own events.
Sony pulled out harder than
and
anyone.
Sony has pulled out now.
Yeah.
And in that article, they said E3 accounts for a lot of their annual revenue.
About half.
And they're passing the buck on to people now by like pay more. Attendees pay more. You're seeing that in them being stingier for like media passes and stuff like that.
Even like Easy Allies, would they be stingent about Easy Allies
Maybe
passes?
they might.
Oh, okay.
They might.
All right.
They just might be. Might hear about that sooner. Might not.
Okay, wasn't sure if that was a thing that could potentially be a pod. Yeah, okay.
Potentially.
Yes.
But the thing is, they're going about it wrong. Like, if they want more public to be there, just expand the conference and accommodate both. You can make that E3 a 4-day thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Some game companies will be a little bit happy, but I mean, that's what it takes.
Is it because if they had a press only day, they're not making any money, and it costs money to operate that day?
Huber, guess the number. I do remember the round number of how much money the ESA makes from E3
for the whole weekend or week.
Yeah.
Oh God, like $45 million.
Extremely good guess. 38 mil.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the rest is dues. So like the video game companies like paying their dues to the ESA. That's where the other half their money comes from, or like 30-something% of it. But yeah.
So the 38 million is like Square Enix paying for the time slot and stuff.
The
What about all the
spaces,
food sold and
that's third-party vendors. That's
third-party
not them.
vendors
For the convention center. So when I rent out the convention
But
center.
ESA has to pay. They have to fork out money to secure all that stuff. They got to pay like union fees, all that
and
stuff.
they have to pay the convention center
Yes,
as well.
they have to pay all of that,
Yeah.
and then they charge ESA membership dues and stuff, and on top of whatever it costs to rent out booth space and other other contractual obligations for that. That's probably why Microsoft's like, we have a venue over here right next to it. Why the heck would we keep spending money to you keep raising prices?
Yeah.
We're just gonna do it over here. Like the problem is ESA doesn't get everyone to participate in E3 anymore. They do their own side events, and it seems or just outright pulling out like Sony did this year. You see it getting too crowded because they throw everyone together on the same days instead of trying to space it out. Because Hubert, you're saying like, oh, it might cost more if we had like a press only day.
Yeah.
But then that opens up more tickets to those public days. So let's say like 60,000 people go to E3. Part of that is industry and media people. But if you say like on day
Yeah, but
3,
I don't think they're selling out of people passes.
oh, I think they are. They always. I think the last 2 years they've definitely sold out of passes.
Okay.
Pretty sure they have.
I think you're right. I think you might be right about that.
they would sell it faster and they
Yeah.
could sell more.
Yeah.
Also,
I get what
like
you're saying.
the last part of this doesn't get talked about a lot. The venue, like LA Convention Center, they probably is in their best interest to move the convention to some another place.
They're locked in a contract for 3 more years, apparently.
I mean, San Diego or Anaheim would be a much better venue for them.
Yeah.
To accommodate. I mean, San Diego accommodates. Wow. Comic-Con got
Stingent was a new
Yes.
word we
Yeah.
had came up with too.
Yes.
That I like.
they accommodate San Diego Comic-Con, which is way bigger than E3. Anaheim Convention Center hosts PlayStation Experience. They don't even take up all that space there. There's all those they have 4 levels of that convention center to go above the main showroom, where they have giant ballrooms and stuff where you can
Oh,
have.
it's the same one where they have Blizzard Fest. What's
Yes,
that?
BlizzCon.
Yep.
So it has a ton of space, and it has that renovated like arena area now.
Honestly, pretty nice.
Yeah, but anyway,
pretty nice.
like I don't want to spend too much time on this, but there
Yeah.
are a lot of problems, and like their answer to this is like, I don't think what they're doing is right, and there are other conventions, other companies out there doing it right. Like Comic-Con happens every year and it sells out and it's like huge. I'm not talking about like there's probably other problems that we don't need to get into, but there are other shows out there that are much bigger that accommodate public and media interest and aren't
Yeah.
running into the issues that E3 is.
Just
Yeah.
have one press day. It would
Yeah.
alleviate so much pressure for the entire week because that gets a lot of appointments and not homework, but it gets a lot of our work done on the press day, which means we'd be a little more relaxed on the other day. We wouldn't be crowding the public, trying to like get in a line and because sometimes we can't get appointments for everything, so it's like, okay, I gotta wait in line for this.
Yeah.
It would alleviate that.
Huber, like at the top of this, it's all just insane that ESA, this lobbyist group,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
also responsible for E3, this event that we all love so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so because it's such a big revenue, that's why they won't want to give any of it away. That's why they don't want a team who's actually really good at producing events to take it away.
They want control.
They want control
and
over it.
money.
And it's like, hey man, that's not your strong suit. This clearly is not your strong suit.
Yeah.
You can talk to Congress people. You're good at that.
Yeah.
You're good at T for teens, but like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop doing E3.
That's the point of the article too.
Yeah.
They said they're basically
Give it to Keeley.
they're split between two.
Tequila.
I
Give
mean,
it to Keeley.
He was mentioned in the article. Even
definitely
yeah.
it'd be a good. That would be a very good choice.
Yeah.
Hell, with San Diego Comic-Con losing out on all the like Marvel and Disney, like Disney's pulling everything out of Comic-Con for their own stuff now, losing such a presence from like Hollywood's basically pulling out a lot of stuff from their.
Wait,
from,
whoa. Comic-Con with no Marvel?
No, they do D23 later this year. There's gonna be like nothing like.
What about comic side? Even comic
Oh,
side?
comic side will still be there, but I'm talking about like the
The
TV,
movie stuff. Yeah,
TV
yeah,
stuff might still be there, but movie stuff
Yeah.
is slowly like going away from that convention.
Gotcha.
Like they're saving
So
for
if
their stuff.
E3 dies, we can blame these people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Not our fault.
it's not our fault.
It's not our fault. Don't blame us.
But I mean,
I want to move on, Damiani.
sorry, just get Comic Con.
Yeah.
Snatch up all the gaming stuff. Make Comic Con week the new E3, baby.
It could work. It's like a month later. Like, who
Be a
cares,
huge
right?
steal for them. Yeah.
Yep. 2 acquisitions I want to cover. Sega Europe acquired 2 Point Studios. That is, they've only made 2 Point Hospital so far, but that is people formerly of Lionhead, formerly of Bullfrog, who made the Theme Hospital games. So those people founded this thing called 2 Point Studios, made 2 Point Hospital, great success. Sega Europe says, let's do it, baby.
Gotcha.
Let's do business. Gotcha. And they're going to make more 2 Point games going forward.
Nice.
Epic Games acquired Psyonix, the creators of Rocket
League.
Thank you. Good grief, Kyle. Rocket League. That's been acquired by Epic Games. That one's a little stickier, obviously, because Epic Games has an Epic Games store. And so we don't. It's. They had like a Q&A in the announcement. It's so funny. Like, this is on Psyonix's side. They're like, hey, we're
Yeah.
part of the Epic Games family. I know what you're thinking. Like, it's like the second sentence.
Yeah.
Is like, how will this change the game? And the response is, in the short term, nothing. And
Yeah.
it's like, wait, that's not reassuring, right?
Yeah.
So far, there's been no stated intent of making this an exclusive title to the Epic Games Store. They've promised that if you own the Steam version, it will be supported alongside whatever they're doing in the future.
Yeah.
But with the way the Epic Games Store has been going, it's hard to believe that it won't become an exclusive at some point.
Oh yeah.
Or there will be some advantage to the Epic Games Store. Like they'll get things first or something.
Absolutely
It,
will be.
so I'm not following this 100% all this Epic Store
Sure.
stuff, but every time I hear something, it's Epic got this, Epic got that,
Yeah.
Epic got this.
Yeah.
So is Valve
They won't play.
losing it right now?
They won't play.
Epic's throwing a lot of their money around to secure these exclusives.
Yeah.
They're offering a bigger take of the
Yeah, I know
percentage,
that for sure,
essentially.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But money on top of that.
Yeah,
They're definitely offering
they're
money
doing
on
a
top.
lot to
Yeah.
secure this stuff,
Which is
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, honestly, like the best I understand the argument, Huber, from like long-term PC gamers, it's not the fact that like, oh, I got to go to Epic now to get my games. It's everything Epic is doing is kind of in contrast to the spirit of PC gaming, which is about openness, not restricting stuff behind like exclusivity deals, and like there's no loyalty to Steam from a lot of like PC gamers. It's just convenient. And they'll use it, but like it's not like, oh, like Steam's the greatest thing. Like, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
And Epic is like starting to tread like they're walking into that gray area now. It's starting to cross into that territory where people are getting a little concerned. And on top of this, Kyle, it was also announced the PC gaming press conference at E3 is exclusively sponsored by Epic. And now a lot of people are pissed
I
about
missed that,
that.
dude. That's
They
a scoop.
are pissed. Because they think it's going to be an Epic Games like store exclusive show now. They're like, oh, well, there you go. Like,
Oh my God.
It's
And
like,
I'm excited to
oh.
announce every game you've seen tonight,
Yes.
6 months of exclusivity
Yes.
on the Epic Games
Yes.
Store.
It's
So the only
it's not
move now
Yeah.
for Valve is to just make Half-Life 3 Steam exclusive.
I think
and then
just-
they'll
yeah.
Then that's
So Valve's games will
You know
always
what-
be Steam
Yeah.
exclusive.
yeah, you know what to do, Valve. You just make an exclusive game,
Yeah, just-
Half-Life
And,
3
like,
on
Hubert.
Steam, and
Yes.
there you go.
And Hubert, no one would have a lot of problems with what Epic's doing, except they're getting third-party games. It's not their
Yeah.
own developed games.
Yeah.
They're doing this to a lot of third-party
Like
games. that
snatching
aren't-
up Rocket
not
League,
snatching
Rocket
Rocket
League
League
is
seems-
crazy.
So-
Rocket
yeah.
League is top tier. I'm
Yeah.
going to say
So-
like a top 8 esport. Even.
Yeah.
I'd go that far.
That one's them buying it now. It is under them. That's like
Yeah.
that's a slightly different argument. But they're taking third-party games that otherwise have no loyalty to Epic and doing that like money hatting essentially, and that's what's angering people
Because
that shouldn't-
Blizzard
yeah.
has been doing this forever, like Battle.net and the Blizzard store, but it's their own.
It's their own stuff, and no one has a problem with that.
which is
Yeah,
fine.
that's not the not the problem. Yeah.
And another thing, because I'm one who has to read all the comments on this podcast, I learn a lot of things. Another couple of reasons to hate the Epic Games Store is if it's not available in your country, like you just don't have access to those games. You know what I mean? Like I can't buy that game because Epic Games Store is not set up in my country yet. And also ways to purchase things. So you can buy cards for Steam, right? And then you'll have money added to your account. So I can take cash to Walgreens, buy a Steam card.
Got it.
I cannot do that with Epic Games Store currently. And so, hey, maybe it's a part of their roadmap, right? Maybe it's coming down the road. But I mean, we'll like, we don't know.
Yeah.
And so, like, currently, right? Like, if a really cool game is on the Epic Game Store only, and I'm somebody who's used to buying Steam cards, I have to wait 6 months.
Yeah,
I thought the other part of that too, Kyle, with the payment stuff was that even though the developers or publishers are getting more of a cut from Epic, they're passing on the processing fees for like different territories or whatever. Like something about processing fees are passed on the consumer. So you're paying extra for that. Whereas Valve covers that for you on Steam.
Yeah, the comments have made that pretty clear too, where, the developers are making more money, but it seems like the costs have not been dipping too much, significantly, to reflect what we thought how we thought it would. So yeah, it's
Ongoing.
yes.
This
It
is
It's an
ongoing.
ongoing story. I might have to come
Yeah.
up with a segment title for the Epic Games Store.
Yeah.
Hit me with your suggestions in the comments. I know you have some good ones. It is
Wow.
now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
We have so many this week. Let's do some. Let's do some of these. This one's funny. I love a follow-up, and also it's funny because I think that sometimes the Easy Allies podcast has a negative influence. Let's dig into this. Let's dig into this.
Wow.
Love and Respect E3 Hype Check Update. Howdy, Kyle and panel. On Easy A Podcast 159, I wrote in about how my personal E3 hype levels were very low. I'm writing back to give you an update. I'd say that the E3 hype for me is rising, but slowly. I'd say that there's 3 things at E3 that are making me very excited, some known and some unknown. First, The Legend of Zelda. I think we're going to see a lot from that franchise. Link's Awakening for sure. Cadence of Hyrule will shadow drop at E3, if not before E3. 2 ports of old Zelda games, Skyward Sword and Link Between Worlds. And finally, the next new Zelda, Link's Resurgence. The second thing I'm excited for is whatever Retro Studios is doing. My thought is that it's going to be a new Donkey Kong Country game with King K. Rool as the villain, whom was hidden from Reggie's picture. Finally, we'll most likely see Xbox and Nintendo doing some jolly dealings in a press conference. I think we will see the reveal of Banjo and Smash Ultimate, Ori coming to Switch, and a shadow drop of Cuphead, the delicious last course. That's a lot, but that's it for now. More to come later. Thanks a ton, Ryan. I think we overhyped Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan. Well, actually, no,
I think we overhyped Ryan and I feel bad.
No, this is not overhyped. Ryan, you just got your times a little wrong here. First of all, Banjo is part of Season 2 characters, the Season 2 Fighter Pass for Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Perfect.
Not this year,
Perfect.
next year. Also, those 2 Zelda ports are also going to be next year. So you put too many together too soon. You gotta spread it out.
the wires crossed.
Yeah. You rolled 2 years into one right there. Too much.
My favorite thing to do now with E3, because, it feels like we've won E3, Shenmue 3, Final Fantasy VII. Like E3, if E3 were a video game, we beat it, So we're just in we're in bonus mode now. So every E3 I go into, I really just want one big announcement per conference.
That's too much to ask. Even that is too much to ask.
It is, but it's still kind of realistic. Like one big thing from Ubisoft, one big thing from Bethesda, one from Sony, one from Microsoft, one from Nintendo. It is a lot to ask for, but I still feel like it's keeping it in check.
Okay.
You should be able to walk away from any E3 and have a top 5 announcements.
Yes.
Easily.
Yes.
Easily could fill out a top 5.
That's even better. That's an even better way to look at it.
Oh, that's what we do with this podcast.
Yeah.
We do top 5 headlines.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Top 5 E3 headlines.
Yes. Because sometimes they're negative, dude. Sometimes it's actually like it's not a good one. It's just like this is the biggest headline of the week.
Yeah. Epic bought Microsoft. All games are Epic Store only or something.
Epic bought us.
Yeah. You can only watch this podcast on the Epic Game Store.
Thank you to our sponsors, but we have some bad news. Hi, Alice. As a father of 2, I've found that my ability to play certain T and M rated games has dwindled. I could get some hours of San Andreas in hanging with a fussy 2-month-old who decided that 3 a.m. was a good time to be awake. Would it be worth it for developers to put a blood or language off code, like Mortal Kombat on the Genesis, only in reverse, so more mature games could be played while kids are around? Additionally, once my boys are old enough to handle the gore of God of War, I'd love to play through the originals with them, if not for those pesky sect scenes. Could there ever be a broadcast version of video games? Probably a pipe dream, and just wanted to hear your thoughts. Love and respect, Eric. And by the way, you left off Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection in your list of Capcom releases last week. I said I'm taking out some collections. I couldn't do them all, Eric. But to your question.
I'll put the Jones hat on.
Okay, Jones hat. There we go.
This stuff costs money.
Oh, hey.
Yep. And I doubt, like we're learning, dude. The Epic Games Store or the E3 thing, everyone wants money.
Yes.
So, I imagine not wanting to spend a ton of money to add that into the game if only like a very small percentage are going to do it. Like Rage 2 is a super bloody game, and that's like part of it. So I imagine people buying Rage 2 are knowing that going in. So I can only assume that a small percentage of people would play Rage 2 with like no blood.
Yeah.
And again, having to program that, having to put that in there, that costs money.
So I have 2 thoughts on this, though.
Yeah.
So, Mortal Kombat videos on YouTube are difficult to monetize. They will get demonetized quickly.
Because they're so graphic?
Yes.
Yep.
So, like a stream okay mode and esports okay mode, would be kind of cool for something like
you
Mortal
just
Kombat.
remove fatality. Like I imagine some games it being a lot easier. Like Mortal Kombat, you just remove the blood and no fatalities.
Yes.
And that's big right there. There'll still be some X-ray moves probably, but just removing all the blood.
Right. So we call it competition mode or something like that. My other thought is I wonder if those make the game lame. I wonder if even the option to take out violence, to take out swearing, to take out the sex scenes would negatively impact a game to its core audience.
Maybe, but maybe in the moment, and there'd be like an adjustment. But like games have streamer modes that get rid of licensed music, and I kind of equate
That
it's the same
a great
thing.
point, dude. Yeah, streamer mode should take out some stuff.
Yeah.
Like there are streamers who have to flip on, hey, this is like an adult-oriented stream. I'm about to shout some swear words.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I wonder if even if my streamer mode options had take out swear words, that'd be kind of interesting actually.
Yeah.
It might be something to consider as we move toward more streaming.
Definitely, and borderline games that like want just a bigger audience that or have streamer mode,
Yeah.
and take care of that stuff.
There are definitely games that, besides Mortal Kombat or old Mortal Kombat, that definitely have an option to turn off blood.
Turn off blood for sure.
I'm just
For
struggling to think of one that does that. So I imagine
Hearts.
I imagine taking stuff. Oh wait, what did you say?
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that couldn't
Turok,
get through,
maybe?
couldn't
Like,
get through that
Turok, can you
pirates
remove the
area
blood?
without that. Blood
I turned the
off.
blood up for Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I did turn it down. It's too emotional for me.
Yeah,
I
get
turned
that.
the swear words up. Someone about Goofy just dropping those
Oh gosh, yeah.
F-bombs.
Donald
Yeah.
says profanity under his breath. You gotta like, it's blink and you'll miss it. It's
Yeah.
very fast. No, I think it's easier though a counterpoint to your argument though, Huber. I do think I'm not gonna try and estimate how much effort goes into having to test all of this.
Yeah.
But I think I would argue that taking away stuff should probably be easier than adding in stuff. Because if it's already coded in there, I imagine it's like just like a filter type thing where you just toggle it and it says turn this off. So like,
Yeah.
so
But I imagine someone has to do
but like
that.
with like
so
Mortal
someone
Com-
has to get paid.
Yeah, so like Mortal Kombat would be obviously way more involved. It's like, well, even if you turn blood off, you still see people getting sliced up and stuff. What do you do about that?
Yeah.
Now you can't show their insides. Well, what do you do there? You gotta have to animate something like that. But like profanity,
Like
Cover the X-rays with just like fog or something.
Yeah, we can't. The blows, like you can't get rid of those. What are they called? Something blows.
Fatal blow.
Yeah, fatal blows. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't think we could get rid of those.
Yeah.
but
so
something
easily,
like
yeah.
like profanity, I could see like that being a filter. Like like almost every like online game has a filter for like text and like at least text where it's like
Yeah.
users type stuff. It'll censor it out for you.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, so do rap albums, and it's like it's the worst to own that.
but I mean,
You're like-
if you're a parent
want that
and you just want your
explicit.
kids to,
Yeah.
I guess if you're a parent and you want your child to do it, and like having that choice is better than not having it, and,
Yeah.
and it's not taking it away from if you want to play it and like. Is it really gonna upset you that like that option exists for people who don't want that? But it's like, hey, it's still fully uncensored. I get to play. I mean, the full complete version with all the gore, all the swearing, all like everything, even the nudity and stuff. Like I meant for like God of War, it'd be as simple as like just a cutscene skip. Like it just skips that thing. It
That's
just
not a
takes-
cutscene, my friend.
I know it's not a cutscene,
Yeah.
but like, it skips past that. It just goes
You
like
could
right after.
just
that.
give me some orbs for free. Let me just jump on the bed and get some orbs.
Yeah, you just do like
just
yeah,
jumps
you
on
jump
the
up and
bed,
down.
you
You can
Bunch of-
skip that. In
Oh,
the
you're right.
originals.
It's entirely
Yeah.
optional. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
But
it was
you want
optional.
dude, it gives you a ton of red.
You want those red orbs.
Yeah.
And you want the trophy.
Yeah. And now more than ever, I
Now
want
it's a
that
new
trophy.
now it's a
Yeah.
new trophy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad there's not even a nod to that in God of War.
Thank God.
Not even a nod, dude.
Yeah.
Product of its time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's like, to me, I wonder if like I think, excuse me, collecting my thoughts going forward. As esports become more integrated into the game's design, as esports becomes bigger, as advertisers are looking at video games, these kinds of things may have to be a consideration.
They definitely do, Kyle.
Yeah.
Not just Street Fighter has
Yeah.
to do this when they're on ESPN. They banned certain alt costumes.
Right.
Yeah, you couldn't use certain costumes for that. But that was a manual thing they had to tell people to do.
Yes.
Like it wasn't. I don't think it was a
programmed
filter
in.
in there. Yeah. So, I think you might see some of that happening in the future. Like
Cool.
more games offering that.
Yep. So yeah, I look forward to it in the future. This one touched me in a weird way. Okay. It didn't touch me in a weird way. It touched me
My mind was
Unexpected.
not there.
in an unexpected way.
Expected. Better adjective.
It's from Roxas. Hey, allies.
Profanity.
As it turns out, Roxas has a foul mouth. His cutscene, wakes up, just shouts.
Yes. I had to turn that filter way up.
Okay. As it turns out, I may be going on a business trip to San Jose, California, the week of E3.
Ooh. Cancel it.
I've watched all of them. and enjoyed them from the comfort of my home with my dad. And this is quite the event for us. We always watch together and hog the TV for press conference day. Since we're both from Latin America, I usually do my best to translate on the fly so that he never loses context of anything. My question is the following. Would you recommend I do my business a week before and stay for E3 week in LA? Or do you think, based off your individual experiences on the show floor, that, as a non-press member, I would enjoy it far more watching everything online? Thanks for reading the question and all of your amazing content. Love and respect.
I think in this specific circumstance, you should watch it from home.
Yeah.
If you have an opportunity to come back another time where you don't have to worry about like the stress of trying to complete work early, and you can make better arrangements, it might be better to go. But if you're just going there, even the people going in public, you have to wait. And such the lines are ridiculous.
It's hard to recommend.
It's unless there's like a game there that like a Huber Shenmue 3 thing where it's
Playable.
like it's gonna be playable, and I know I can go play it if I go there. It's not the same as it used to be. I feel like you will get more enjoyment relaxing at home, watching those announcements, watching all those impressions and stuff. Just a way better way to experience it if you don't have the appointments and the access.
I mostly agree, but if you've never been, you should try to go at least once.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a super fan, if you're so into E3, if you're so into video games, like going to E3 at least one time in your life just to do it
Here's my
is
problem,
definitely
though.
a recommendation. But just know, like Damiani's saying, it's not the most pleasant of experiences. It's really cramped, really long lines. It's like Disneyland on a summer Saturday. You know, you're waiting 5 hours to get on one roller coaster.
The one I always bring up was 3 hours for Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
You know, like a zero hype game is 3. Like what?
Yeah. Or like going in the VR. Remember like PSX for the VR and stuff?
That was actually nice because they had the app and you could schedule ahead of time.
But then it was like sold out.
Yes.
All filled up.
And
you
within
can't
minutes,
even try it.
Within minutes, true.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if you have this dad who is willing to sit down and watch E3 for you, with you, in a language he doesn't even understand,
do it.
that is what I would skip the work week for.
Yep.
I'd watch this stuff with my dad.
For sure.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yep.
Just the idea of like live translating to your dad. He's like, oh boy. Okay, let's see this thing. It's like,
Yeah.
And like, you know, the things that are like universal, like the reveals of faces and titles, like, oh man, like,
Showing the crowd, like,
yeah. I can almost guarantee that's gonna be a better time than like going to the show floor.
I agree.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate. Hey, maybe it'll improve, but for now, show floor, kind of a mess.
Yep.
Sean Layden had it right. Okay, let me do one more little quick one because I always like supporting these. Professor Nanaki, my girlfriend and I got a PS3 at a used game store for cheap and couldn't be happier. Gran Turismo 5, Wolfenstein, Shadow of the Colossus, and my favorite, Valkyria Chronicles. Used gaming is worth it. Thanks to you all for putting me in the know despite never playing this console. Love and respect. Heck yeah.
Perfect.
Love used games.
Love it.
There's so much fun left in all those games.
Yes. And there's no noise around them. Mm-hmm. There's no bad vibes. There's no hot takes.
Yeah, the hot takes, man.
You know,
the hot takes.
You can just go in there, pick something up for $3. Pre-owned, used PS3
I
game.
don't think those games are $3, but
Dude, I bet you Wolfenstein on PS3 is like $6.
all right, but that's not $3.
All right, $3. Let me think of a $3 game.
It's hard to think of it, but when you find it, it's like,
Yeah.
And sometimes you find those $3 games you never even heard of.
Resistance 1. How much?
Gotta be. I think that'll be more than 3 because it's a name.
Yeah, it's a greatest hit.
Yeah. Like it's just like
The Saboteur on PS3.
he's
I'm
looking
price
it up.
checking
He's
it
looking it up. Price check on
right
Saboteur.
now.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be like laser. Like laser boards, you know what I mean? You're like, laser boards, what is this? And you pick it up and you're like, oh, this looks cool.
Depends on what PS3 you got. Some of those I'd be really scared to buy a used model at this point.
So close.
Like the OG versions.
$4.99.
$4.99.
Honestly, it's hard to get down to 3.
You're
It
close.
really is.
You're close, Huber. That was very close. Good guess.
Damiani's got a fair point. Clearly, that one was working. I think
yeah.
you're safer not getting the big boys. The big boys have backwards
That's the
compatibility, which makes them really
desirable
nice.
one, yeah.
But I think you're safe to get the nasty like plastic sliding one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the newer ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So many good games on there.
Yeah, good games on 360. Good game on a PS2. Good games on an original Xbox. Good games on a Dreamcast. Good games on a PlayStation 1.
So many.
Yeah.
There have been like so many good remasters of those PS3 games are now on PS4, which kind of stings a little bit if you just have access to PS3.
Because I think Gran Turismo 5 pretty special, right?
And specifically Uncharted and Last of Us.
Oh, those
like
are
Last of
those.
Us.
Those. Why would you play that on PS3? I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you only have access to PS3, I mean, those
You're
are still good versions.
You're not getting those games for close to $3 though. Like even
Definitely.
like Valkyria 4 or Valkyria Remastered or the new Shadow of the Colossus. You're not getting those for $3.
Persona 5 on PS3.
Persona 5.
I don't know if
on
no,
PlayStation
not
3.
here.
Yeah, right.
Not here. Japan only.
Japan only.
Dang.
Right?
Did it get a Vita version? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Japan only.
I thought we only got the PS. This is how it always goes. I thought Persona.
I don't know,
comes
Damiani.
out-
Look it up, Hubert.
Look it
Give me
up.
that
I don't
too.
think so.
There's the prove it
dude.
ticket.
Prove it ticket. We're using the prove it ticket for the
Prove
first
it
time in a
ticket.
long time.
Okay.
Prove it ticket has been handed over. In the meantime, it is time for bets.
Yeah, maybe it was actually Huber because I remember people playing it on emulator and they got angry at it. So you might be right this time.
You know what? We're gonna do one more love and respect.
PS3.
Yeah.
We gotta do this one.
There you go. You earned it.
Hubert earned the prove it ticket. Greetings, Kyle and fellow allies. Thank you for making such excellent content each week. It really helped me over the years to have such videos as the Easy Allies podcast and many other videos to look forward to. This week has been a bit of a tough one as I made the decision to leave my job in retail where I have worked in which I have worked at for over 13 years. It wasn't an easy choice to make, but I felt I had to, as I noticed for a little while now that my mind was telling me that I had to quit and not come back as I just couldn't interact socially with anyone in that environment anymore without feeling like I'm likely to faint or break down for seemingly no good reason. Hopefully things will get better in time, but I wanted to ask if any of the allies have had tough times in their lives with how they've overcome them or anything in particular which has helped to improve their situation, be it in change of lifestyle or a hobby or maybe even a favorite film, album, or video game, which has helped to either put some perspective on things or just take you away from the reality of a situation for a short while. Love and respect, Sam. It's May, Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
Let's dig in, baby.
Let's dig in.
Because, yeah, I think you did the right thing, Sam, in leaving that job. If it
Yes.
is stressing you out that much, yes.
Get out.
First thing I'm going to recommend to anybody is therapy, obviously.
Yeah.
Therapy, I realize, is not cheap. If you can afford therapy, like, get there. If you can't, there are some other options. Like, there are, like, student therapists who you can get for cheap. Funny story. I don't think I've shared this one before.
Okay.
When I was unemployed in LA, right?
Yeah.
Just super depressed. It's not easy to be unemployed.
No.
I went to a student therapist, right? And then I got my QA gig at Activision, like on my second meeting, and I was like, I have a job now. Bye. And he was like, wait, you are still so messed up. And I'm like, I can't come to these meetings anymore. And he's like, wait, no, Kyle, don't. And it's like, it was years later till I returned to therapy. Because I was like, hey, I got a job. I don't need, like, I will never be depressed again. Little did I know. Anyway, that is an option out there. Like, obviously, therapy is great. But yeah, I think there's always other things, right? There's other little things like Sam brought up, you know, hobbies or lifestyle changes that can improve or help. I'm curious if you two have any input on that.
Taking walks is a big one for me.
Where do you take a walk?
Just around the neighborhood. Just start walking.
Do you listen to stuff or you just space out?
No, space
okay, no
out.
listening.
No iPod or anything. I just go for walks, and sometimes jogs as well, like exercise. Get the blood pumping, you know, because especially with this job and my hobbies being video games and movies, I just sit and sit.
Yeah, dude.
Forever.
Yes.
There are actual times when I don't leave the house for like 2 full days. Just because I get
Of
up.
the nature of our job,
Yeah,
too.
I get
Yes.
up and I'm working on a game and then I
Yeah.
go to sleep. I get up, I work on the game, watch a movie, go to sleep. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, for me personally, staying active and just going outside and decompressing and just like feeling Mother Nature
Yeah.
is nice. Like, I go to the parks, so.
Yeah.
And it's true, there's that, like, you got to remember that, like, your mind is just like this baggy, wet brain, right? Like,
Meat sack.
yes, it loves to walk.
Yeah.
Like, no matter who we are in our personalities, yes, like, our bodies just love that stuff, and
Yeah.
our brains do too. It's just part of our stupid biology.
And, like, when I go out, say I'm going out on an errand.
Sure.
Right? It's a different mentality, especially in LA. It's a little intense. The roads are intense. People are on edge. Like, LA is very intense. And if I'm going out to get food or something, it's like a video game, right? It's like a mission. It's like, all right, I got to go get my food, get it, get back. I got to find parking. I'm in that mode, right?
Yeah.
But when I go out on just a leisurely walk with no objective, it is very soothing. I find I get in conversations with like random strangers or something, or like I'll walk to the park and there'll be some dogs and I'll just stroll over and like start petting the dogs. Like I'm just
They'll let you pet their dogs?
Yeah, I'm just like
Nice.
more open. Like if I'm walking and I order a coffee, I have just a better conversation with the barista. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I get you, dude. Daily walks are in my regimen currently.
Yeah,
It's nice.
Good advice.
What you got, Damiani?
One thing I can share is instead of going on walks, I will go like on drives. Like especially like Huber
Nice.
made a point about like being. Sometimes you might be will be like kind of inner places or wherever, just like staying there for like 2-3 whatever days, and it feels like you don't get out. Like I made it a rule a long time ago. It's like you need to leave your place once a day minimum. Like you need to go out.
Yeah.
And like so I will like force myself. It's like okay, it's like lunchtime or dinner time. Is like all right, you're going to drive. You're gonna go out and you're gonna drive. And I'll make myself go to someplace not close by. It's like it's not gonna Zergo.
Going
over
to
there.
Raising Cane's.
No, not that far. It's a little too far. But not gonna go like across the street or a few blocks away, and then like just drive right back and be right back in the room again. At the computer, and it's like that really accomplished nothing. It's like you're gonna like nice like drive, roll down the windows. It's like there'll be times I'm like I don't even know what I want to eat. I'm like I'll go in like a complete circle around like a rough area of where I live. It's like a good drive, and it's like. Yeah, like just kind of chill. Don't have to like think about anything for a while. And it's like, it's something different, take your mind off of that.
Nice.
And one thing I do want to say to Sam is like, when we're talking about taking your mind off, like I think you are going to be miserable for a sec. Yeah. You know what I mean? You just quit your job. You're going to have some unemployment period. Like it's like okay to be miserable, and
Totally.
that like it makes sense. It's logical. Feel okay feeling miserable. Like you can get out of it, and you will eventually. But yeah, just like it's okay to be upset sometimes.
Like I was in the food service industry for over a decade.
Yeah.
And when that was over, it was an adjustment. It was intense.
Sure.
So there's definite transition when you do something for that long and it's gone.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, team. I'm glad we got to do that one. I would not have been able to like. I would have had like a hard time sleeping tonight. I was like, man, we should have answered that other one.
yeah.
It's time for bets. Next week's bet. Game of Thrones is finally ending on Sunday.
Yes.
You mean BBT?
BBT is finally done. Because you're kind of right, Damiani. Like BBT is just I've seen the acronym too much. It's just this poor book series has lost it, right? It's just all about It's just all about HBO. It's out of Gurm's hands. Anyway.
But when the show's over and he starts writing again, or whenever that it comes out,
theory. He's shadow dropping book 6
he
as soon as the final
dismissed it.
episode.
Debunked.
I know. That's
Fun
good.
theory, though.
Yeah, it was stupid.
He's not shadow dropping those books.
the backlash, I think, has only made people want the books even more now.
Yeah.
People are probably going to be just as disappointed.
No way. Be optimistic, Damiani.
Be optimistic.
No, I'm not
Be
saying it's bad.
optimistic.
I think people just built up stuff way too grand in their head.
Anyway,
grand show.
Fan theories.
Well, we'll see. Hey, Game of Thrones.
Remember
ended
Lost?
there's still an
this
episode
Sunday.
left.
Remember Lost?
I like the ending of Lost. Don't at me.
Breaking Bad.
Well, what's going on?
Final season Breaking Bad. Get out of here. It's possible.
Flawless.
You can do it.
Flawless victory.
Just takes a weird machine gun. We're betting on how many viewers the finale will have for Game of Thrones. Go ahead, Huber.
Blackjack, baby. 21 million. That's
Whoa,
million.
That's what he drew.
21 million.
Michael Damiani.
I went 21.5 million.
Sucks. I said 21 million. This sucks.
So we got him.
You got me.
Nice. So we get points.
You get points regardless.
Yes.
You get a point regardless
Yes.
of what happens.
Predictable.
Let me lock that in. Just to be clear, it had 18.4 mil last Sunday.
Yeah.
So we knew like around the ballpark or what to expect.
Which was the highest ever for the show, which made me not add that much.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
get
it's
you.
going to be even more. I feel like it's going to be 25. It's going to be so far
Series
above.
finales normally spike. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't bet enough. But
It's all right.
We got him.
Because you're right. Everyone who's mad this week is still gonna watch.
everyone's going to watch.
Every single person who wrote a mean tweet is watching, and then their friends are watching to see if it's a train wreck or not.
Yeah.
I should have done like 30, dude.
Yeah. It's going to be so many.
People want to know what happens next.
Worth mentioning though, HBO's premium cable. You have to spend extra money to get that network somehow.
Yeah.
Like it's not
People
easy to
pass
just.
around their password a lot. But
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
But definitely.
It's not. You don't have easy access to Game of Thrones.
Definitely.
Now, HBO Go.
Yeah, that's what I do for Barry. It's $15 a month. That's how much Barry
Then you
costs.
just,
Barry
then you just
block.
cancel.
Last week's bet, I haven't seen the results yet. We're going to find this out live. Rage 2, released today, May 14th. How many Twitch viewers will be watching that at this point right now? Okay, I actually forgot to collect that from last week, so we're going to watch that live.
Awesome.
Damiani and Hubert, you're going to watch that clip from last week where we all make our bets. I totally forgot to skim that earlier today. That is a foist.
Barry block, Kyle.
Don't get close to Barry spoilers, dude.
No way. Never.
Yikes.
I'm never spoiling Barry ever.
Okay, just
I would die
making
before I
sure.
spoiled Barry.
I get the impression Damiani wants to spoil Barry.
Yeah.
What?
He's
no, I've
itching.
never seen it. I thought you were spoiling it for me.
He's itching.
He's itching to spoil Barry. I
No.
can tell, dude.
Don't do that.
Okay, all right. So Jones said 125K people watching Rage 2 right now.
That's the
Jones, what?
I thought Jones is the bet master
Well,
now.
he
There's
is the bet
so
master.
many
Well,
points.
He must have thought like Epic was gonna do an exclusive deal and sponsor
Yeah.
some streamers.
Yeah,
and
we'll
like,
see. They might be, man. We haven't
Ninja's
seen yet.
streaming Rage 2.
Wait, does Epic actually have Rage 2? Remember my joke was that Epic buys the Rage 2.
Because it's
and then,
Bethesda.
yeah.
I wonder if they got that exclusivity for Rage 2.
Wait, isn't it? Actually, I think it is.
I
Because
think
that's
it
why I'm not
is,
playing
dude.
it. Because I don't want to. Yeah.
Can we look that up too while I'm watching
Yeah,
this thing?
see, I wanna give you
All right,
something
so
else to
Blood
do.
said 23K.
Okay.
Brad says 150. Brad, come on.
What is
dude.
happening?
Brad, 150K.
I was going to say like 10K.
Brad.
Yeah, that's our reaction last week too. And I said 15,402.
Okay. We need
So it
to
looks
do-
like I have the low bet
We need
there.
to do a new segment called "The Next Panel Reacts to the Previous Panel's Bets."
Gotta say, kind of like it. All right, so
Rage 2's on Steam.
I'm
Okay.
on twitch.tv. I'm going to browse. Okay, so Fortnite's number 1, League of Legends number 2, GTA 5 number 3, Rage number 5 with 54K viewers.
Wow, that's
That
a
is
lot.
a win for Daniel Bloodworth.
Bloodworth.
Yes, he had the 23K, I believe we just said. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Bloodworth got that one.
Nice blood.
Let me see who's streaming. How does it actually have 50K right
Who's
now?
number 1?
Number 1, Fortnite. Oh, wait, who's the one streaming it?
Yeah. A shout out.
Oh, Shroud, this is your fault.
Shroud. How many? Like 30K?
He's got 27.3K.
Is it sponsored?
Shroud, why? This is your fault.
The cycle begins anew.
It doesn't seem like it's sponsored. It seems like he really just wanted to play it today. I mean, it paid off. Like, 27K watching him is not bad.
Circle of streams.
Oh, I'm not happy about that. Okay, so let me see who wins for who's in the Bloodworth seat. Is it Huber in the Bloodworth seat?
Bloodworth.
Yes, it is. Huber is in the Bloodworth seat. Anyway, that brings our totals to Scrappy Little Pigs 10, Gorgeous Gorillas 9.
Ooh, and we totally got this point. Tie game,
Might as well
Kyle.
add it right
yeah,
now.
might as well add it right now.
All right, I'll add your point
No,
now.
wait, because if it is like below 21, then we both get a point, right?
If it's 21 or
Yes.
below,
So-
they
Yes.
both get
okay.
a point.
Yeah.
But
But
you
like-
still have a point regardless.
They
Yeah,
can't. Yeah.
but you can still get a point.
I'm going to go ahead and add it right now.
No,
We'll
no.
see next week if I get a point or not. So
I like this. Kyle's gonna use this to his advantage.
that brings our totals to Scrappy Little Pigs 10, Gorgeous Gorillas 10. I'm so mad about how that worked out. Huber went 21 blackjack. Of
21
course,
blackjack,
man.
always
Just put
blackjack.
a decimal. Always put a decimal.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Even
Dewey
a
Decimal
0.1.
System.
Yeah. I want to tell everyone really quickly about patreon.com/easyallies, which is the website to go to if you're curious about these easy allies you've been listening to. We do many things beside this podcast, and we are Patreon funded primarily. So if you want to see how that works, the kinds of videos we make, everything else, check out patreon.com/easyallies. One last thing to add to listeners of this podcast that might be interested to know, if you give $5 or more a month, to our Patreon, you get this podcast 2 days early. You get it on Wednesdays as opposed to Fridays, and you get to submit to our goofy segments. I have really bad news.
Uh-oh.
Do you know Kassarar, that wizard that hates us?
I hate that.
How do you spell that?
I have the spelling. Do you actually want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, second random nasty letter.
Kassarar. Kassarar.
That double R gets me.
Yeah,
That's
that's where you
where-
always mess it up,
Yeah,
right?
the double R.
Too many characters, can't fit it in.
Guess what he is adding to his own little cauldron? Sleazer.
That's right.
Sleazer's awesome.
No, Sleazer's not awesome.
Sleazer is helping
Lalafell
us
is-
out.
You will rue this day.
Sleazer's
Oh.
helping the
You
cause.
are not going to like
So
Sleazer.
it's a little potato. We're throwing it into the cauldron.
No, it's
gonna
an
cook.
awful potato.
It's a little potato.
I'm so, like, Sleazer, oh. Do you know what the things he will do with Sleazer? Huber, you are in the Bloodworth seat. You get the right responsibility to share your Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. You get to sign off with your trademark sign off, and you get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head right now.
At Michael P. Huber. Video I want to promote is, no offense to you, fine gentlemen, but my favorite thing to do is talk about Life is Strange with Daniel Bloodworth and Elise Willems. We just filmed episode 3, spoiler mode. Please check that out because every single one of those episodes has just been a joy.
So I go to YouTube to find that?
Patreon. So if you give Easy Allies just $1 a month, you get exclusive access to our spoiler modes.
Sure.
We do Avengers and Life is Strange, and I can't think of, we did God of War a while ago.
Yeah.
So the
God of War was not exclusive. You can actually find that one on YouTube.
True. But we do, big spoiler modes, at least one a month. So yeah, check out Life is Strange.
And you've done one for every episode.
Every episode,
And we'll continue to do one for every episode.
whole way through.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Final word.
Final word. I'm just really excited to see more of Predator.
Sure.
I really want to see it. I want to see it in action. I hope it's good because, there should be more great Alien and or Predator video games. Like I'm 31 years old. I grew up with aliens and predators. And video games. They're all part of that circle. The circle of my youth. See you later.
Sexy.